St. Patrick's Skills Training Center being designed to create a balance between skills and academics. Details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back with the National Report for today, Friday, May 4th, 2018. I am Wendy Edmond. It came about because of a need to address the skills imbalance in the country, but the plan is also to use the St. Patrick's Skills Training Center, a project initiated by MP Anthony Boatswain, to produce furniture for schools that are currently in need. Mr. Boatswain, the MP for St. Patrick West and former Education Minister, says more than $1 million worth of furniture is needed by various schools, and that need is currently not being met. The Government Information Service paid a visit to the centre in St. Patrick for an update on the progress of refurbishment work. Mr. Boatswain told the GIS they are viewing it as an extension of the T.A. Marshall Community College that will focus primarily on skills training.
For the past 3 months, we had a training program for young people on the blocks, guys on the block, guys and girls on the blocks who are unemployed. We have trained about 50 of them in furniture making, and if you see what they have done inside there as trainees, it tells you that they do have the basic skills, and we want to build on that. If we take an integrated approach to this project, that is to say, starting from cutting of wood right down to marketing, we can create over 100 jobs in the furniture sector alone, not including the other area of skill training that we intend to get involved in as a government.
Government has invested more than $600,000 to purchase and renovate the building. Senator Pamela Moses, the Minister with responsibility for skills development, says the Ministry of Education will be responsible for outfitting the building and ensuring there is a board in place. Their model of management will be similar to that of a statutory body.
The Ministry of Education, Youth, TAMCC and NTA. The Ministry of Youth has the responsibility to find our young training persons for training. They're in the process now for putting a policy document together that would be used to select young persons to come here and train. The National Training Agency, NTA, they are presently working to put together the whole CVQ model, because at this center here we want to do CVQs. We want to have a high competency-based model here, so we'll be going up to levels 1 and 2 CVQ levels. TAMCC would supervise the whole training process and put the whole training process together.
GIS spoke with Raul McQueen, one of the workers, who said he acquired the skills on his own but would love to be certified one day.
I feel I go like that. Yeah, man. I'm a certificate, so when I'm working for that and I said that I want that I have to get.
The sister isle of Carriacou has just ended 3 days of rich cultural activities in the 9th annual Maroon and String Band Music Festival. Every year, the island showcases its African origins through drumming, singing, smoked food and other rituals practiced by the local people. The festival also saw performances from regional dance groups, string bands and drummers. Parliamentary Representative Honorable Kindra Mathurin Stewart commended the organizers for their efforts to keep the tradition alive. She also joined her colleague minister in highlighting the significance of the festival to the country's economy.
I can assure you that my government is committed to supporting our Maroon Festival and all other national and public festivals here on the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. A subvention of 50,000 EC dollars cash payment was made towards this festival in addition to other support. We as a government have expanded our ministry to focus on culture and the performing arts because we recognize that the entire world is moving in this direction.
Minister for Culture, Senator Nolan Cox, spoke to the economic significance of the festival. He is pleased that the festival attracts several visitors.
The Ministry of Culture has and continue to give its full commitment and support to this festival. And I know that the Minister for Carriacou will be happy to hear me saying that we are going to continue as the Ministry of Culture to invest more in this festival going forward, because we believe that we have an excellent opportunity ahead of us to extract every single opportunity that we can from this festival. We believe that this festival has not realized its full potential as yet, and we can do much more with this festival to ensure that it brings more economic benefits for Kiaraku, and most importantly, that our young people continue to be part of it to ensure its sustainability.
Here are some highlights from the Cultural Expo at Maroon Festival 2018.
By the toe of the tree, 'cause it's good to touch the green, green grass upon.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
This year promises to be a spectacular affair as beauties of the Caribbean compete on one stage for the title of Miss Caribbean United. Come see contestants from the islands of Trinidad, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Vincent, Anguilla, Dominica, Venezuela, Antigua, Dominican Republic, Margarita, Barbados, and host country Grenada. It's the 2018 Miss Caribbean United pageant, Saturday, June 2nd at the Spice Basket, uniting the Caribbean through beauty.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs is throwing its full support behind the New Testament Church of God, which has organized a number of activities in observance of its 60th anniversary. Details from Annette Moore.
The New Testament Church of God in Grenada, which began in 1958, with its first physical location being the church in Beaton, St. David, has now expanded to 9 locations island-wide.
We want people to know that we are around and we are ready to serve the public.
The theme for the 60th anniversary celebration is therefore Go. During week 2, there will be evangelism activities which will include church outreach programs to the shut-in, elderly, disadvantaged, youth and the general public. Week 3 activities are geared specifically at youth.
The 14th of May, we'll be having some district services to cover the entire national church. So we have a service at Birchgrove New Testament Church of God and one at Lucas Street in St. George's on the 14th beginning at 7 p.m. So all young people are invited. And then on the 18th, which is the Friday, we have the Hymn Experience, a grand worship service at the Lucas Street Church in St. George's beginning from 7 p.m. We have the Gasparillo Ministries from Trinidad, some young people coming in, and it's going to be an excellent worship experience, so you can't afford to miss it.
Pierre says the Hymn Experience is a service designed by young people for young people in Grenada to bring deliverance and healing. This will be followed by another youth-led event, specially branded Ice Cream Evangelism, on May 19th in Grand Anse.
Feel free to join our members. They will be around the Risk Cafe area, handing out tracts and telling people about Jesus and having some ice cream one time.
The main celebrations culminate with an all-day convention scheduled for Sunday, May 27th at 9:30 a.m. at Spice Basket, Beaulieu, St. George, featuring a grand worship service led by Pastor Philip Bonaparte from the United States and featuring a mass choir during the morning segment. Fletcher says the afternoon session will involve the presentation of awards to church members who made major contributions in various areas of ministry. The public is invited to join them in worship. For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
And that's a wrap for the National Report for today, Friday, May 4th, 2018. I am Wendy Edmond, thanking you for viewing.
This This year promises to be a spectacular affair as beauties of the Caribbean compete on one stage for the title of Miss Caribbean United. Come see contestants from the islands of Trinidad, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Vincent, Anguilla, Dominica, Venezuela, Antigua, Dominican Republic, Margarita, Barbados, and host country Grenada. It's the 2018 Miss Caribbean United pageant, Saturday, June 2nd at the Spice Basket, uniting the Caribbean through beauty.
Spice Mass Corporation presents White on the Sea to Glow Cruise, Saturday 26 May, aboard the Brother 2. Come party with the kings of our Soca Kingdom, St. David's Monarch, Blaze, Tonic, 2 times and reigning Groovy Monarch, Dash, 2 times OECS Monarch, 2 times Road Match, 4 times and reigning Soca Monarch, Boise. Tickets cost $40 with barbecue included. Get your tickets now from the Spice Mass office at the GCNA Complex, Kirati James Boulevard. Any Spice Mass Corporation member, Mitchell's Pharmacy in Grand Dance, or call 440-0621. Boarding time 7 p.m. White on the Sea, the Glow Cruise. You must wear white.
This year's Spice Mass climaxes on August 13th and 14th. It is an event you just cannot afford to miss. I am Tamaya Monroe, Miss Grenada 2017, inviting you to the festivities, the shortney and all the different traditional mass, the fancy mass, the Monday night mass, and as Specky say, the best part of Carnival, the Juve. Spice Mass 2018 is one that's going to be fun, epic, unforgettable. Miss Grenada 2017 Tamaya Monroe inviting you to the Carnival Queen Show on August 9th, 2018 to witness the 7 beautiful ladies contesting for the title Miss Grenada 2018. It is an event that you cannot afford to miss. Miss Grenada said so.
This one is for mommy. You play your part and you still playing your part. I love you from my heart, boy. Mommy, you lost and love your body. Put it till you depart. This one's from my heart.
You do in 30 minutes. You could be on one of our 45 black and white sand beaches, or perched atop a lush mountainside admiring our stunning coastline, or slicing the Caribbean Sea on a traditionally built sloop, or adventuring off the beaten path, or hanging out with our underwater sculptures, or do nothing at all. Whatever you choose, an amazing vacation is only 30 minutes away in Grenada. Visit www.puregrenada.com.
Teenage single mom, child is hard to mind. Deadbeat fathers just make me sick. Let's do something to get rid of this problem quick.
Yes, this is me, Rootsman Kelly, 2017 Calypso Monarch of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimatnik. I'm inviting you, everyone, come down to Spice Mass 2018 and enjoy yourself with me. Remember, you will be enjoying the Jab Jab, traditional mass, Juve, Soca Monarch, and of course, the March Gras 2018 will be the best ever.
No, you let me. Deluxe Cinema, you always ice me on your shoulder.
Wondering about this new kid on the block.
Youth man learn, me say youth man learn. Youth man, you will get your turn.
Come down to Grenada and enjoy yourself.
Plastic rice, plastic cheese, and plastic corn.
She needs someone to hug and kiss up when nighttime come. Every woman, rain or shine, needs someone
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
And a good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And it is Hard Talk. It's now 11 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock on the Spice Island of Grenada. We're live on 97.5 FM.
And 89.5 CRFM.
Yeah, we're also live in Carriacou and Pity Martinique via 92.9 FM, serving Carriacou, Pity Martinique, the Grenadine Islands, the northern part of Grenada, and online as well.
And in Brooklyn, New York, We Vibes Radio 94.9.
Yeah, very eventful weekend, Devon.
Yeah.
Very eventful weekend. Let me see what happened on Friday. Yeah, Friday, some police officers called me and give me a piece of the mind Friday night.
Good for you.
They call, I know Nazim and Devon safe, but Sheldon is safe now.
Good for you, me. I take no chance. I show up.
Tell you Friday night, I started to get some WhatsApp. I get MSN message, not MSN, we'll call it again, Facebook message. I get all kind of thing. Well, watch. If it had a MSN messenger still, I get that.
I show up.
Where you?
I went
looking for you.
I went there late because Brenda had some extra work and so to do.
Yeah, Zim, you get to go up, man. You make it up. You get food and thing. Whoa.
I ain't get water, so I get oil long and thing.
Nah, but you reached too late for the food, boy. Yeah, soup, you had to fix that one. Nas didn't get food. We had to fix that. Yeah, so from all intents and purposes, what I've heard, it was a very successful activity. Had a lot of people when you went up there?
Right up till 12 o'clock.
Wow.
Right up till 12 o'clock, persons were there supporting.
And music and drinks.
Yeah, music and drinks. He had food up to that time.
But he didn't get food. Oh, no. Remember, we friend could only eat certain food.
Yes.
So he probably had food, but not the food that he could handle.
Yeah, 2 pot oil going on still, and then go right down.
Yeah, we know when it comes to we part now, we had to stay away from certain food, you know. Promise me, son, not to do the things I done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Yeah, he does have to walk away from certain things. It's been a quite eventful weekend. I'm very unfortunate a situation yesterday morning, though, and let's get to that early up in the day. Yeah, 2 youngsters would have lost their lives. One, I think, 3 years old and one 2 months old.
3 months, yes.
Yes, so a very unfortunate situation that would have occurred yesterday morning. That would have been in the Fontenoy area. I know that there has been a statement from Prime Minister in relation to this, also as being the MP for St. George Northwest as well. And he says, there are no words to express the deep loss and the great sorrow the people of Fontenoy in Northwest St. George, and by extension this nation, are feeling, as we have lost 2 of our most precious angels in a tragic house fire. As the parliamentary representative for the constituency and as Prime Minister of this nation, I offer my most profound sympathy and my heartfelt prayers to Miss Alicia Lewis and her family. I'm truly sorry for your loss. I know that the days ahead will be extremely difficult for you, but always remember that God is there to comfort you and hold your hand. I want you to know as well that I will be there for you, and so will the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. May you find peace and strength in this difficult season, and may the souls of your 2 beautiful babies rest in perfect peace. And that signed Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell. So Prime Minister visited the families on Sunday evening to express his sympathy and offer support. So again, a sad situation. Another house fire, man.
Very sad.
Another house fire. And I keep hearing individuals now. And you see, when these things come up, we have all sorts of people who get emotional. And the thing is, we're human beings. So nobody should vex with you for becoming emotional. You're emotional, you get emotional over something. But we have to also learn to think within reason. And I've been seeing a lot of people speaking about smoke detectors and fire detectors. And so, yeah, important. But I think even more important than that is making sure that your children know the proper procedure, not only for fires, but any type of event. Yeah, some people just call them preppers. They like to prepare for things. Your children should know what to do in any situation. You could have the best smoke alarm available on the face of the earth. The smoke alarm won't save your life or won't save the children's life if they do not know what to do when something like a fire occurs. Yeah, they need to know. Won't save the children's life. Let me just get this down here. Nice, right? Yeah, that was up when you put on the live on the computer. Yeah, it's important. And myself and Devon have said it here. Devon is actually one of NATMA's coordinators. And he has said it on this program before. You must have an emergency plan for your family. As little as they are, start training them. Yeah, start training them. There's a fire. Get out of the house. Make noise. Make sure somebody knows what's taking place. Yeah? So you have to have a plan. I mean, this has happened before. Even this year, it's happened before this year. And it has happened in years gone by. And it happened in years gone before that. So it is not something like one of those moments you have to start screaming, as some people with political motives and nothing better to do with their lives are screaming there, oh gosh, what's taking place in we country? I see my partner wipe his face because I know he's one of the people that has been annoyed by that. Yeah, this thing about, oh goodness, what taking place in we country? Yeah, it happens in every country on earth. The great United States, with the best fire services that you could possibly find, and with smoke alarms, and with all the drills and so on that they put their children through, it happens there. And children die in the United States in house fires. Yeah? So it happens. We are indeed sad. We're saddened by the entire situation. Yeah? But if it's one thing that we can do to ensure that we don't have reoccurrences of such things, is that we need to start training children, elderly, everyone in emergency evacuation from a house. And also, take a little look around your house. And in your mind, see where is the best place to escape in case of something. Look around your house right now. Do you really have an escape plan? How are you getting out of that house? In case, suppose you only have one entrance, that is an exit, one door, entrance, exit. You know, it might be better for you to start looking at putting in the next one.
Of course.
Might be important. Start looking at that.
No, it's very important. I mean, if you build in a wall house, I don't think the standards, right? And so the physical planning will pass any house plan without an exit or even one entrance in your house.
For those that do go by physical planning.
For those who do go by there. But, you know, generally and so it is needed. And we cannot, I mean, continue to impress upon persons about how, right, to teach your children, your loved ones, how to prepare for any type of disaster, whether it be fire, whether it be hurricane, whether it be, tsunami. And so give them ideas. You have the information, share it. Prepare them, sensitize them, first aid. You understand all these type of things. You get your children involved as early as possible. It will never hurt. It will only help them prepare and educate them.
I know, many years ago as a teenager, I was involved in the St. John's Ambulance Brigade.
Of course.
And that taught us, if someone has a broken limb, what you should do. If an accident takes place, what you should do. If a person has stopped breathing, what you should do, and so on. Much of that has stuck with me. I need to do some refresher courses.
You need to.
But the St. John's Ambulance Brigade, they're a good group to learn those things with. People talk about the Red Cross is not really for that. The Red Cross is a similar agency, but the real agency for teaching you those sort of things. The St. John Ambulance Brigade. How many of us have involved our children in that? Suppose you're having a heart attack at home, and the only person there is your 5-year-old. Do they know who to call? Do they know how to call? Is it a situation that your phone is locked and they don't know how to unlock it? Yeah, you have a heart attack. You've dropped down. You've been hit with a stroke. Young people getting hit with stroke too. People in all their 30s and things getting stroke too. So you have a situation. Does your child know how to react in that situation? Does your significant other know how to react in that? Yeah, Naz, I can understand how some people taking this thing and make politics, but we will come to that. Yeah, and I try to as much as possible, I try to encourage you all to have that plan. I've seen situations, for instance, we often get earthquakes. Every year we get earthquakes here in Grenada. We do get earthquakes here in Grenada, yes, small as they are, and thankfully they remain small here in Grenada. But you know the problem that we have? Nice, yeah. The problem that we have, thank you, Deepo. The problem that we have here is that, you know, children don't really know what to do, and adults especially don't know what to do when an earthquake hits. If an earthquake passes now in the town of St. George, you know what happens? Every business place and building gets empty. Everybody run outside, which in some instances is the worst thing to do.
Expose yourself.
Yeah, because you expose yourself to falling debris. Yeah, or poles that falling, or electricity lines that falling, and so on. Yeah, I've seen, I know with the ministerial complex over the years, there has been evacuation plans. So in case there is a bomb threat, there is the fire alarm goes off, there's an earthquake, etc., there has been in place a plan for the ministerial complex. I am not sure what is the plan in place for places like the hospital and for different schools and so on. I assume that there's a plan. I worked at the ministerial complex for many years, so I know for sure there's a plan there. I don't know what's the evacuation plan for places like the general hospital or for schools and so on. But I tend to find that many of us do not know how to operate in emergency situations.
We panic.
Yeah, that's the first thing we do, panic. And then the flight or fight reaction takes place, and most people, the majority, 95%, the flight, they just run.
They just run.
So an earthquake passes, and they see everybody, oh gosh, earthquake, and they look to run outside. No, that's the worst thing to do.
Wrong move.
It's actually safer to get under a table, not the bed. Get under a table, a sturdy table. You must have a strong table somewhere around. So you get under a table, or you in a doorway has been found to be a safe place. Not through the door,
No.
in the doorway.
Right
When
in the
buildings collapse, usually the doorway remains as a safe area, an untouched area. So if you can't get safely under a sturdy chair or table, you get in a doorway, what they call the triangle of life. So that when a building collapses, if it collapses, God forbid, and you're within the doorway, you're generally found to be safe. Safer than other places.
A lot of other places.
Yeah? So we have many people who do not know how to operate in an earthquake. I remember being at the National Stadium facility many years ago, the cricket facility, and there was an earthquake. And that was a heavy one. You actually saw the flooring moving like waves. You saw different things, and you saw cracks, 1 or 2 spaces, some little cracks and that kind of thing. And you know, the first thing everybody did was run out and go to the middle of the field. That wasn't too much of a wise thing. No. Because if you look at the construction of the cricket stadium, it's made to collapse. So if a heavy wind takes it or enough force takes it, it's on a hinge. So it's made to collapse towards the field.
Yes, the center of the field.
And that's where everybody ran.
Yeah, you have to go behind.
Yeah, so it's not safe. Yeah? You're on the beach and an earthquake has come. A heavy earthquake. And then you realize that all the water on the beach disappear. And you're seeing fish in the water for so. Yeah?
Don't go. Not even fishes that you don't eat for years.
Yeah.
Don't go.
You could see a pirate chest full of jewelry. Mark the spot and run for your life.
Don't go.
Don't go.
Don't
but
go.
some people don't know that because even when the tsunami hit in 2004, many persons were killed like that because they saw the sea recede, the sea went back, and they went into the water because they were seeing fish hunting and, easy to get. They just went and started to pick up fish and different things. And when the wave came in, it killed all of them. Killed everybody. Everybody that was there. So you need to find high ground. You're on Granans Beach. There's a shaking and a shaking and a shaking, and then you realize the water on Granans Beach begin to disappear.
Head for Montu and them, sir. Please send them.
Montu, boss. If I could get on top that hill there, up by Fante, not down Fante, but you know, up by La Luna and all of them up there, all up by where Kiwana Bay is being built now, where we used to call oh boy, what was the name? Flamboyant.
Flamboyant.
Yeah, get on top there. Get on top there and get on top there as soon as possible. Don't run by the Spiceland Mall and all those places and them not get out from all day. As far up hillside as you could go. Don't stop until you reach the top. Just keep going.
Even right or wrong, they may not be the safest of places.
Yeah, just get to a hilltop.
You try your best to get to the highest point. Well, I know.
No, you ain't going to be nowhere wrong there. You got to move from there fast.
All the hills and so, because look at the closeness of the sea.
Yeah.
But you get as far as possible.
As far as possible.
High and as far as possible.
Yeah, away from the seaside. But you know, some people don't know that.
Yeah, they don't.
Some people, they hear an earthquake and so on, they see that kind of thing, and then typical 2018 human beings pull out the cell phone and they start to tape. Yeah, pull out, tape. The last thing you tape in your life, though.
I'm wondering, Sheldon, if it is if within the Ministry of Education handbook or guidelines and so, there is a mandatory some sort of mandatory preparation for all schools, right, when it comes to fire and tsunami and hurricanes and that sort of things.
Bro, you in Nadma, you had to tell me?
No, well, I'm
so it might be something. It might be something for you in your zone to start up.
To start doing.
But I could say this though. Nearly every school I've gone to, I have seen literature up at various parts of the school in relation to things like earthquake and tsunamis and those sort of things. So I can say definitely that at most schools that I have passed through, that I've seen the information there. As into the practical application.
Yes, that is
I can't say. I know my son's school ran a drill. I know they ran 1 or 2 drills, yes. So I know my son's school ran drills for earthquakes.
I think,
one of my son's schools.
Yeah,
so some of the schools
tsunami
ran.
also too. In St. Andrews, there was a drill.
For those close to the beach. Yes, there was the massive one.
You know, and so.
Yeah.
But even
but it has to be done every now and again.
Yes,
so it
I
sticks
think,
in the mind of the children. It has to become automatic. This is what you do. Don't pick up no book bag. Don't try to get no lunch kit. Leave everything. Run.
I think one of the things that Ministry of Education in collaboration with NAGMA and other stakeholders, right, if they don't have that on the plan as yet, right, and I'll seek to find out, is to just before every year, before the hurricane season and these type of things, you try to get all the schools, right, in their own time and way to have at least once a drill, right, either a fire drill, a hurricane drill, or one of each. Understand? So you basically sensitize and you freshen the minds of the young ones and the teachers.
Hurricane drill in school is go home, eh? Yeah, hurricane drill in school is go home.
Yeah, that's so.
But it's what you do when you're home.
When you're home, and how you go about doing that, because there are a lot of times when hurricane warnings and so, and the children, right, have to go home. But what about the parents? You see that coordination, right, between schools and parents and workplace and so has to be in sync.
You know, we have to remember something, eh? I'm wondering if any of the children in school now experience Ivan. I don't think so, you know.
No, we're talking about 2004.
2004,
well, yeah, they may have some.
Zim.
Yeah.
Poogie and them was around already.
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
And they're still in school, right?
My daughter.
Yeah. So the last set of children probably who would have experienced Hurricane Ivan, and that would have been at the ages of like 3 and 4 and that kind of thing.
No, my daughter was only 8-9 months.
Yeah. So but no, those are 3 and 4 and under. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would probably know of Ivan. Mm-hmm. Some of them may be able to remember a little bit of Ivan.
And Emily.
But none of them in primary school now know anything about Ivan.
No.
None of them in the lower forms in secondary school would know anything about Ivan except what they are told.
The Form 2s and the Form 1s may not know.
By bigger brothers and sisters would have told them, and parents would have told them, and so they don't know what it is.
They don't know what it is.
Those are TAM-CC and ULO and so on and university. Yeah, they know. They remember Ivan full blown. Yeah, they even want to hear the word hurry, much less cane. Yes, so in fact, they even want to stock sugar cane because they're afraid everything with cane from now on.
And then you had Emily right after that.
It is important, though, that we let our children know, because sometimes the stories coming out about what Grenadians went through during Hurricane Ivan are so scary that some children actually have panic attacks. Anytime they hear that a hurricane is coming in, they start to have panic attacks. Some big people start to have panic attacks anytime they hear a hurricane is coming. But the thing is, if we have prepared properly for things like hurricane should be the one that we're able to prepare for the most, because you know it's the hurricane season in advance. So you know there's a particular time of the year that you're more than likely going to be impacted somehow or the other, if not directly by a hurricane, by heavy rains from one of the feeder bands or something coming across and causing a little wind and that kind of thing. So no matter what, every year you get something off of a hurricane. Hopefully you don't get hit directly by one.
And it's about 2 weeks away right now. I think the season starts
in June,
around the 1st of June.
Yeah.
So we just about 3 weeks away from that. So hey, the topic has come up, and what a better time for us to keep sensitizing our people about the importance of learning the different drills and so for the disasters. Hurricane basically is one of those that affect us, I mean, almost every year, and so fires and so, right? We have to sensitize and prepare our children, right? Prepare our children as to what can be done in the case of a fire within the home or even in the schools. And so I mean, there's a lot of work for us to do, right? And
let your children know that their lives are more important than any item, any book bag.
Material, anything.
I could go in town and buy back books. I could go and buy back a book bag. I can't go and buy back a child.
Not your life.
Right?
Not that child.
So they should leave it. Yeah? Because you may have children that run out of the house and then say, oh no, I'm a homework for tomorrow, and run back in there. Straight children, how children think. Remember how you used to think when you're small, if you could remember that far back. You're illogical in your thoughts, you know. So you have to drill your children. Every parent should take this as a wake-up call. Yes, I'm hearing you all loud and clear. And I know it's because you all care. I'm hearing about drives right now in the UK and in Canada and in the US to get smoke detectors and that. Yes, lovely initiative. I agree with you all 100%. But what happens after the smoke detector goes off and it says fire? What do the children do? What do the parents do? What do the grandparents, if they're at the home, do? Where's the exit strategy? Where do you get out from the house? Is there one door in and one door out? Only one door?
What does a neighbor do in case of a fire?
So there's one door in and out of the house. The front door is the only entrance and exit. And fire comes and it's in front of the door. How do the children escape?
Exactly.
How do they get out from the home? Yeah? I remember a situation in Trinidad many years ago. Entire family died. Family of about 7. Entire family died. And they died because they over-secured their home.
Oh, yeah.
They had burglar proof on every window and door in that house. Every window and door. The fire started, and the father ran to the front door and was fumbling with the keys, trying to find the key to open the iron gate that he had in front of the door.
Bad move.
And they found him dead right there. And the rest of the family spread throughout the house. One child, I think, went to the bathroom and tried pouring water, turning on the water in the bathtub. And so another one died under the bed. Because children, that's generally where they go. Children, you're looking to hide, they always run for under the bed. That's how children are. That's how me and you were. When we go in and get licks, we run for under the bed.
Under the bed.
We hear a loud noise, something, or somebody looking for us to beat up, we run under the bed. So that's where children usually go. But we have to train our children to think and to act. Yeah? And we also have to help them by ensuring that our home is safe. If your home only has one door in, one door out, you need to start thinking about rearranging that. Yeah?
And you know, as the hurricane season is fast approaching us, and so one of the things parents, right, need to pay particular attention to, right? In the case of a hurricane warning, storm warning, and your children, you at work and your children are at school and the warning is issue, you need to put a plan in place. Get your children to understand what they need to do from school to home, or their place, the next place of rescue when once the parents is not home. So they will know exactly the school gives let us off because, right, of a hurricane. Our mother and father tell us where we need to go. What is our next step? And so I think as parents, and so we need to sensitize, we need to do much more, right, as a family to help prevent a lot of these dangers, and so, you know, especially for the children, we need to.
Yeah, it's an absolute necessity. Folks, you can weigh in as well. Call 440-7377. That's a 440-7377. It's now 36 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock, and the overseas number, Devon?
It's 347-329-3101.
Yeah, and on the live, let me see. Yeah, Sonia say even when Veko coming down for carnival, she used to run under the bed. Yeah.
Even thunder, when you hear thunder is under the bed, you're going.
Hermione is agreeing. She says, but for that one, I know real children.
Under the bed.
You see, thunder is the main one.
Yeah.
Up to this, they once they hear thunder, you hear children scream, and they head for under the bed.
Under the bed.
Hermione is agreeing that a house with one entrance, exit, one door is a death trap. It is.
Definitely, yeah.
Even if somebody is coming in to attack you physically and in front of the door, where you going to run? Where you going to run? Yeah. When hurricane warnings comes out, the schools are usually closed hours before. Parents need to have a family hurricane plan in place.
Exactly.
But what the children need to understand, though, is that when the school closes because there's a hurricane warning, is that they need to go straight home. Don't go playing all over the place, and then when you have to put your plan in place, they, as part of the plan, are nowhere to be seen because they decide to get some time off and they go on by the river and fish.
You have to go and look for them.
Yeah, that takes away time.
And endangering yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
So they ought to know when there's a hurricane approaching, go straight home. Yeah.
Or the designated point made, indicated by your parents in the case of that. Because sometimes some parents may not want their child to go home. They may want them to go at a neighbor or a relatives,
so there must be a plan.
Yes, there must be a plan as much as possible. Right?
Also, Terry saying there was a drill in St. Andrew earlier in the year for the schools, so that's wonderful.
Yes, tsunami.
And Hannah is saying, my sympathy goes out to the family with the tragic fire yesterday. The Almighty knows best. Stay strong. May the Almighty comfort you in this trying time. And we all agree, Hannah. We all agree. Kim, okay, I'll give you a call, Kim, so we could find out about that issue, accident and emergency. Neil, good morning to you, the NNP support group. Good morning to you all as well. Let me see further down. Depot. Yeah, Depot have my book for me. So right,
Depot.
Yeah, right, he have my book for me. So nice. All right, nice. Hey, Rhonda, good morning. Rhonda, you on work? All right, I think you're on work, right? I cannot. No, Nazibi is saying he cannot believe people making this tragedy political. He read some Facebook posts yesterday and listened to a talk show host encouraging callers to make the thing political. I mean, it's disgusting.
Morning, good morning, Devon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everything?
All right.
Quite fine.
I say we the St. John Northwest Nagma committee, we sympathize with the young lady of the loss of 2 children. Right? We sympathize with them and we mourn with them. And I want to tell them, be strong and be courageous. Yes, 2 lives lost, you can't get back in 2 lives, but be strong. And Brother Shannon, you were saying something there about sensitizing people. This is something that we, the Nagma group, doing. we are really going to schools and informing the children about the danger of a disaster, what they have to do. I remember the time I went there and I said to every child should be partake in a form of particle of the formal plan, because parents may go to work and then children may be home. So they involved with the formal plan so that in case something happens and the parents at work, they know what to do. And if you have a plan, you could execute a plan. But if you don't have no plan, you cannot execute something that you don't have. Right? So it is important that formally have a plan. And Brother Sheldon, is something that I even think about it. Even today we have coordinator meeting.
Yes,
I was planning to collect some leaflets about the amount of water, like a guideline of what parents have to need or they need. The amount of water, what they have to do, batteries, flashlight. I was even planning to get that in the meeting this evening. Alright? So what important to sensitize, educate the people over there in case of a hurricane, what they have to do. Because a hurricane will give warning, but an earthquake will give warning. Alright? So it's very important to educate the people over there to know what they have to do. Alright? Brother Sheldon, Devon.
All right, boss.
See you later.
Yes, man, definitely.
Alright, so you're good.
All right, brother. Devon, I missed a comment a little earlier from Superintendent.
Yes, we did.
This time, Sheldon, I have to empty my cooler of 3 years worth of food that I have left for Hard Talk staff.
No, not Hard Talk staff. For Sheldon. Super, take me out of that.
You had to take Nazim and Devon out of that. Two of them come up.
I come.
And to be fair to Nazim even called me before he went up. So I can't. I had to safeguard my two guys.
Yeah.
Them fellas and them innocent.
Yeah, the other superintendent PA was there, so
Sheldon go take all the blame for Sheldon actions. But Devon and Nazim, they came. They was there. All right.
I drink some.
Nazim, they bring the family and all.
Eat the food.
Yeah, Nazim bring up the family, you know.
Understand?
He bring up the whole family. He came up. And when he come up, he didn't get food. So that one we holding on you, eh? He didn't get food when he come up. All right. Yes. But back to the particular issue. And I'm also seeing a statement here from Nazi as well. He says the 3-year-old and the other who escaped the fire, that would be the 5-year-old, always greets the PM whenever he visits Travelers Bar. Shortman. Well, Shortman wouldn't be in a good mood this morning, boy. Yeah, and when they're passing by. So I can only imagine how he felt yesterday when he discovered that he knew the kids. Yeah, because usually when Prime Minister passes by Travelers Bar there and hangs out for a little bit, the children would be passing by there and call him out. And so he knows the children. And that's definitely a hard one. That's definitely a very, very hard one for the community of Fontenoy. But why do some people need to take everything and make it political? Why couldn't Dum Dum and his friends come on radio this morning and have the civil, sensible discussion that we're having this morning? Why couldn't he simply do that? Why does it have to be that they should try to make this thing into some sort of obia witchcraft political nonsense? Why is it? Yeah? Because you see, if you're involved in something and your mind always on something, you're always thinking about that and everything will go towards that, eh? But you can't walk. Take out time, you can't walk.
That is so disgusting.
You can't walk.
When you want to take, one tragedy and turn it into your own political, try to make gains out of it. That is so sad.
It's just nonsensical. Yeah. I think in situations like this, you empathize with the family. You sympathize with all those involved, and so you lend a hand to lend assistance in whichever way that you can. Yeah? But instead, along with that, you try to figure out what happened, why it happened, and how can we avoid such reoccurring. And I'm saying that your children have a better chance of survival if you have a proper plan in place and they know that fire, okay, no, don't go under the bed. No, don't go and hide in the bathroom and turn on the pipe, but try to make it out the door or get to the window and scream, bawl until somebody gets to the window and get you down. They will tell you jump out. According to the height or so, they tell you jump out or whatever it is, but get to the window. If you cannot get to the front door, get to another exit, get to a window. It's either a door or a window, but they have to be getting out of there. They cannot stay put and wait, because the fire going to be coming in on them. Also, that they need to get down and move, because the smoke rises, but if they keep their heads close to the floor, that they would be able to breathe and wouldn't be overcome by the smoke. Simple things. We could find time to go on the internet and find all them African movies on all kind of craziness. We find time to go on Google and find that. Some of us spend hours looking at who's these people and them that does watch these days now. Apart from the African movies, some of them 3 hours long. That you go on YouTube and find the time to watch. Yes, I'm speaking to some of you that are listening to this program right now. You find the time to go on YouTube and look at that. You find the time to go on YouTube and look at music videos and wind up and shake up and dance up. You find the time to go and macro the business of people like Kanye West and all these other people and them in the United States. There are thousands, probably even millions of videos available on YouTube that teach you stuff. So that if you were to go now and type in, what about finding a house plan for a fire, safety measures for fire, safety measures during what should I do during an earthquake, what should I do during a fire, that there are thousands of videos there that you could view that will teach you the right thing to do in case of a house fire. But instead, some of us want to spend with time on the internet doing things that do not benefit us. I ain't saying that you don't use the internet and things for entertainment purposes. That is why it does go. That is why it does use. I do have a cable and I do have that. I find no use for it. As far as I'm concerned, there's no use for it. Yeah, so I don't have cable. Yeah, but I do use the internet constantly, daily, all the time. And it's important for you to use the opportunity. You don't have to wait until NADMA gets to your home to tell you how to put a fire plan in place for yourself and your family. By that point in time, the fire might pass and destroy your home and everybody in it already. So you can educate yourself as well.
And do it yourself.
And don't look at one video, look at a few.
Yeah,
because some of them doesn't have proper thing in them, and some of them does tell you nonsense. So you have to be kind of discerning to know what is sensible and what is not sensible. I'm sure I saw something from our good friend Ozzy a while ago. Ah, boy, OG, you're back home, man. That's wonderful, man. Yeah, that's wonderful. Folks, 440-7377. And Devon, overseas?
347-329-3101.
I'm still trying to figure out how some people can take this thing and try to make it political.
I mean, where is the connection? I mean...
I don't understand.
I just, you know...
Maybe I have to start thinking as a person that doesn't have sense in order to understand what it is that these people are saying. So maybe I have to shred myself of having any sense, if I have sense. Yeah, you know, like you didn't watch Black Panther yet.
Well, I see parts of it. I didn't watch the entire thing.
Yeah, like when they had to strip him of his strength so that they give him this herb to take away all his strength. I feel I might have to take some kind of herb to take away all of my sense. And then, no, not that herb. Not that herb. Yeah. But I might have to take some kind of thing to get, I'll realize. Watch that Black Panther thing, don't watch it. So, you know, the man gets strength after taking a herb and they tell you a heart-shaped herb. Yeah, right. We know what they're talking about there. But yeah, we definitely have to get to the point where we are clear as families, even as workplaces. This goes past just families, eh?
Oh yeah.
Where you're working right now, if a fire breaks out, what do? Scream and bawl, oh God? And just start to run around? You're hiding under the table? Where's the nearest exit to where you're working? Where you generally are every day in the workplace? Where's the nearest exit? How do you get through?
These are things that you must know. You have to be.
I know I could jump through there. I know. I jump in through there and that kind of thing.
And you know, Sheldon, one of the messages NAGMA has been putting out over the years, lots of years now, is for persons within the community to get involved in NAGMA, to volunteer. It's a voluntary service Volunteer your time, the time that you have that you'll spend otherwise doing, well, I can't say nothing, but not in my view productive. Volunteer your time to assist in the preparation, right, of your community in case of any disasters. May it be fire, may it be hurricane, you understand, tsunami. You see, it's gone way past, as Sheldon said, the home, right, the workplaces, and so, about the community, right? What can a community do in case of a particular disaster that hits that area? How can you pull together? What are the measures you have in place, right? Who is coordinating these areas? I mean, simple community organization, community groups, and so, right, could help in a lot of these situations, right? We'll be surprised. And NAGMA over the years has been continuing to get persons to volunteer and so and train them in areas, so then in case of some disasters and so within areas, you will have persons besides the doctors and nurses who are trained and prepared as first responders, right? And so, all right? So it's very, very important for as a people, let us get involved in NAGMA in whatever way. Volunteer your service, right? Is very important. Where you do communications, right? Persons who have vehicles, equipments, and so that can be used, right? In case of any type of disaster, we need to get the communities much more involved, right? In instances like that.
Also, as communities, it ought not to be to NADMA to have to come and tell you, hurricane season is approaching, start trimming those trees. Yeah? Start cleaning the areas. Let's say you have an area within the community where there's a lot of galvanized, like some people were doing some construction and so on, they leave some galvanized and some lumber and so in an open area. Now, it doesn't have to be hurricane season, you know. We have freak weather that happens every now and again outside of the hurricane season. Suppose you have a windstorm that passes by. Those can happen while I'm talking now. One could just come and pass. Yeah? And those, exactly, and those can take those pieces of galvanized and those pieces of lumber and make them missiles. Yeah? It's like if somebody were to take a cannon and fire it at your house or fire it at your car or fire it at you. Yeah? You wouldn't like to know a piece of galvanized traveling at 60 miles an hour. Just 60 miles an hour, even 40 miles an hour. You want to know what a sheet of galvanized could do to you.
The danger.
Yeah, so
damage you could do.
You need to start the process of identifying these things within the community now and cleaning them up. And by cleaning them up, I don't mean you pick them up from one area where they're looking bad and put them in the next area.
No, proper disposal.
You contact the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority and you let them know that you all are having a cleanup drive at a particular time and there are several large items and so that need to be collected. They will put you all in contact with the contractor for that specific area, and those individuals will come and remove it to the proper site. Yeah, whether it's Beaujeu or wherever they're going, not Beaujeu, Perseverance, that they're going to move it to, so that the metal could be crushed up and shipped out and whatever. So they will move it to that particular area. But we need to have that sort of community sort of thing. Not when a hurricane comes in, you see your neighbor run out and chop off 2 branches, but over by you have a set.
Understand? And
because
the rains have to come already.
He's still in the same danger, you know. He's still in the same danger. Because after he removes the branches from by him and the branches by you could still affect him and could still affect you.
Of course.
So it has to be a coordinated community effort to trim. Remember, if the branches are hanging over electrical lines, don't wait until something is coming for everybody to be calling Grenlec and saying, we have a tree here and we have a tree there and we have a tree there. Get it cut now. Get them cut now. Call Grenlec now. Get in contact with Grenlec. They have a team that is mandated. No, they're not going to charge you. You're not going to see it pop up on your bill as an additional cost. You're not going to see any of that. But if there are lines, electricity lines running through, and there are trees with branches hanging over them, contact them. All these things are things that we need to know, but not just know, we need to take action on. Some of us want to take action on it only at the last moment. Only when they say tropical depression X has formed out in the mid-Atlantic, and the projected models show, according to the precipitation level and the high pressure area around this particular area and the water temperatures in another area along with the wind shear, there's a high probability that it will be heading towards the Southern Caribbean. And all of a sudden, everybody start to panic. They run inside Andal and they buy out every grain of cricks you could probably find. They buy out cricks, they buy out sticks, they buy out everything.
Thing they don't eat in,
They're buying it out. When you go there, you see the shelf empty, 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 empty. Cockroach playing violin. Nothing for him to get.
and why all because...
Hey, hold on. Well, let me just clear. I ain't saying Andal a cockroach. Andal don't no cockroach. Don't go and say thing I don't say. Right. He don't have that. Nice.
And all because we do that, all because we are not prepared. We don't have a plan. Because if we do have a plan, every time you get a release of a hurricane from Nagma or so, coming or warning or whatever, if we working with a plan, we don't have to go to the supermarket every time, right? Because we are prepared. We know the hurricane season is coming. We know we have a plan. We know what we need during the hurricane season, right? New batteries would last us the entire season, right? The first aid kits, right? A particular amount of storage of dry goods and so, right? Things, tin stuff, things that would last 2 to 3 months and so that have shelf life. And so these are the things that you have to prepare in advance so you don't get caught. You don't get caught running in and out of the supermarket for candles and matches and all these type of things, right? Let us, it is incumbent on us, right, as a people, as parents, as a family, as a community, right, to prepare. Do not wait when it happens. If we prepared, the chances of danger, right, the loss of life, hurt and everything is minimized.
So indeed. Folks, and again, the phone number 440-7377. That's 440-7377 and
347-329-3101. Before we go, I want to make a point about the water. Every year, every day, every month, you hear our Grenadian brothers and sisters complaining about, oh, now once I just cut off the water and they give us no notice and this and that. People, come on. Since I was a little boy, Central Water Commission, right, and these authorities that used to run water always tell us to have a supply that will last us 3 to 7 days, right? So in case of emergency like that, you have water to bathe. There is no excuse to be blaming Nawasa, coming down on Nawasa, and so for certain things that happen that is unavoidable, right? We have to be prepared. We have to store water to bathe for the next 2 or 3 days, right? Before bathe, water, cook, drink, right? We have to stop shifting the blame on the authority when you yourself have to take that responsibility and the blame. Let us stop that. Let us do better.
You know one thing with Grenadians, so we love to bathe. It doesn't hear we talking about water to cook, we want to bathe. We are very, very clean.
Not even the drink, we don't concern.
I've been places, I don't think I ever meet any set of people that as clean as Grenadians.
2 or 3 times a day we want to bathe.
If you give up the chance, we bathe in 6. Grenadians are a group of people. When you hear us cussing on radio and we talking about Nawasa cut with water, believe me, it's always we can't bathe.
Yeah, we can't bathe. Nothing else about drinking.
Hardly about cook and wash and all this kind of thing. Is we can't bathe. We want to bathe. That's one thing with us. We must bathe. You understand? Lava man sing a whole song. We must bathe. We must bathe. We have to bathe. We like water.
That level of consciousness when it comes to bathing.
And we want to wash our clothes too, because we ain't going with no clothes that's smelling sour and all kind of things.
We
want to wash our clothes. But not just embarrassment, it's just naturally us. We are clean people.
And
after Hurricane Ivan, people didn't just throw things, and they went down to the river and they make sure and they wash and they thing. Although Nawasa was the first one back online, making sure that people had water, and so they were the first back online. But that's just the type of people we are, but it's no excuse. Yeah, because every time we play the Water Wise program here, every day when you hear water-wise, you hear, please ensure you have 3 days supply of water stored. And that's not only for if something happened like a mains burst and Nawasa take a couple days to fix it. Suppose an earthquake, a major earthquake, God forbid, hits today, destroys the dam.
Exactly.
So that the dam is destroyed by an earthquake.
Pipelines.
So that you can't get water for an extended period of time. What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Depend on your neighbor and the water tank?
No, we have the river there to go and bathe, but what about your drinking?
Suppose you're down in Frequente.
Exactly.
You have no river down there.
Yeah. What if everybody buy out all the supply of Glenelg water and all these type of things like that? You have to prepare.
The thing is, years ago, I knew there was a well somewhere in the Frequente area. I remember going either Frequente or Calice. I went to that well sometime around 2005, 2006, somewhere there. I can't remember exactly where it is. You know, it's something I have to look up.
Can't help you there.
Richard McPhail, link me. We had remind you, and even one person gonna know is Richard.
Yeah, he would.
I have to try and remember exactly where that well is. Right? Deepo is saying, and I think he's making a very important point here. He's saying that he also thinks it's imperative that government urgently reassess the response units presently in place, suitable equipment and strategic stations. And without attributing blame, it is quite obvious, outside of responsibilities of the homeowners, smaller fire units with compact water storage capabilities may be helpful in saving lives. Our obese fire trucks need a dose of Slim Fast, must be able to maneuver the terrain and manipulate the traffic for the sake of expediency.
Yes.
And he's making a point now where he believes that some of the fire trucks are too big. But if you remember, several years ago, we had a fleet of the smaller trucks. But what happened? As usually, maintenance of the trucks. And so most of them parked up now down in SSU. So I believe he's making a valid point that indeed we probably need to review and go back to those small fire trucks, the small units.
Yes.
That were usually
types and
they were supported by the water trucks. So you had the water trucks were able to come with them because they could only carry a certain amount, and they would be able to pump from those and so on.
Fast responders. You know?
And then they kind of use, and I'm not going to blame the firemen here, but when John Doe decides that he was going to light the fire somewhere up in the hills behind Mount Parnassus and burn down half of the hillside and nearly burn people's house, and this van had to go up there to go and out it, and it got damaged because John Doe just decided that he didn't want this garbage behind the house, he wanted to light it on fire. Or they go in some area in St. David and they start a bushfire, or some area in St. John and they start a bushfire, and you had to constantly be running down these different fires. And so we ourselves were putting the strain on the equipment. You can't blame the firemen, they're doing their job. And one thing I could say about the firemen, they take meticulous care of their equipment. Meticulous care. It was one department within, well, outside of Coast Guard, more than Coast Guardsmen. It was one department that has really take extra special care of the equipment. It is the fire service.
That is a job. That is what
so
they do.
It wasn't misuse, and so by the firemen, but misuse by the public. Because many of us did not think before we lit fires in various places and caused the trucks to have to end up into all kind of wet areas, all kind of thing, and get damaged and so on. And then government had to find the money to fix it. Sometimes you can't get the part. Sometimes it can't be fixed. So with damage, it just can't be fixed. It doesn't make sense. The price is to buy a new one. I do know that government does have one or two on order, along with some ambulances. And so there are, as far as I know, some fire trucks. I believe they're being built in Turkey. So they're on order. It's not a thing that you could just go and buy a fire truck and they send it. You order according to your country. And the same thing that Depot is making a point about, the size of your roads and so.
And
so
based
you
on
order.
the network of our roads, I mean, if you check them, look, Grenada have, in my view, the best network of roads perhaps in the world, right? And so, and if we have, as Depot rightly says, some of the smaller fire trucks that can maneuver through these well-built roads and so through the communities, right? That may help, right? Minimize some of the problems.
Depot is saying that if he can't walk Scott Street without ending up in the drain, then there's no way. Well, Depot, you drinking? Anyway, and not because it's Scott Street, but you're drinking. Anyway, there's no way the Red Monsters can make that corner in one attempt.
Yeah,
you'll be very surprised.
You know, the kind of drivers we got.
These guys, they have driving this fire truck in Grenada. That'll give them a medal. Because I see these guys put this truck into certain places and take it out from certain places that I would have never think the truck could have actually go. I think we have some excellent drivers here. Yes, I agree. We don't have to really test the skills like that. If we could get something smaller, get something smaller. But believe me, Deepo, you might be very surprised to see these guys and how easy they pass areas like that you might be thinking is impossible for them to pass. And in one turn, wait, you're going to see these guys, and the trucks are specifically made as well for tight turns. So the trucks are designed for that as well. All right? So it is important for you to understand that part of it. Yeah? Yeah, Deepo, you're laughing, man. But back on the fire trucks, there's another aspect to it. There's one fire truck that's parked up right now at the SSU. And every time I see that fire truck, my paws as razors get kind of upset. Because that fire truck that costs over 1 million EC is there because some idiot decided to do a prank call to the fire service in St. Andrew a few years ago. They prank called and they said there was a fire somewhere in the Hope area, I think it was. And they caused the firemen to leave Grenville, speed going down, thinking that there's this emergency, when there was none, and the fire truck flipped. And it was damaged. Officers were damaged. Up to now, I know if the officers back out to work that got damaged. Because I think one of them was the back that they got damaged and so on. And the truck was written off due to some idiot. And I don't know, probably, I don't know how come they never found out who it was that did that. But in my view, that person should have still been, well, not necessarily in jail. We should have had them working off that $1 million. Because that's me and your money, eh? That's my money, your money, Devon money. That's all of us money that they sent down the drain there. Because imagine, that was a good fire truck that was up there in St. Andrew. That somebody just make a stupid call. And the truck was damaged beyond repair, can't fix it. Oh, it was that was write-off. That is not, you can't fix that. And it was due to a false report. Somebody called and said that there was a fire that didn't exist, just to make the firemen leave. And that was it for it. So even doing that, we have to take responsibility as well as the general public. The government could provide it, but if we misuse it, cause it to have to be used when it should have, you're going to out a bushfire that somebody should have known better than setting. You have to send the truck to go and out that when it should have been there waiting in case of a house fire where it could have gone and saved somebody's life.
Sometimes as people, we do some dumb and stupid things, eh?
Yeah, I mean, right. I'm just sorry that they never found the person that did that. Whoever that person was, as far as I'm concerned, should have been made to repay, not just go to jail and then have to eat more money. No. We should have found a way to make that person pay back for doing something like that.
I know it's not, you know.
Okay, yes, I know Richard go set me up, man. The well is at the beginning of the Dr. Groom's Road, close to Rex. It is still in operation. All right, yeah. It's good to know where them well and them is in case, you know, you have to find water.
Dr. Groom's, okay, Rex, all right, I know it.
Yeah, so it could be on that side.
So,
the left side, as you're going in. The Cali's down there. So as you're going in Dr. Groom's Road on the left-hand side. I went to that well a good few years ago. I just couldn't remember it. I know that Ann David and Twine, she had done a project there many years ago. She had done a project there. Yeah. So I know that that's there.
Another thing again that we have to be mindful in terms of the communities and so, right? The areas like the drainage and the river sides and so, right? I think there must be a drive by communities, right, to help protect that part of the environment, especially around the rivers, the river coast and so, right? We have to avoid the dumping of unwanted things on the river coast. We have to help clean up, right? And so the river course and so we have, I mean, you can provide much more place for our own people, right, to recreate, to go and sit down and relax, and so to give the different species within the river, right, to continue to multiply. And so there's a lot of things that we keep doing, right, that basically is a danger to our existence, and some of us don't know that. Right? When we do certain things in the rivers and so, we just dump indiscriminately, we throw all sorts of things, we poison the fishes, the crayfish, and so we are eventually basically endangering ourselves.
Is what they dump inside them, does dump something kind of internal, external, and all kind of things. Stupidness.
You know, all sorts of things. So I think, and I want to make the appeal again, it's coming to be the beginning of the hurricane season. Let us, as communities, different communities who have rivers close by, let us identify the areas that need clearing, cleaning, overhanging, things that would prevent the free flow of water. And so,
even
in these
the
rivers,
free flow of traffic, for instance, you may identify.
Exactly.
You know, I have a good friend that he usually plies the Monjalu Road, and he keeps complaining about a particular wall and a particular tree that he says can come down at any point in time. I've reported it before, and I need to report it again.
Yeah.
But you may be seeing something like that in your area. It may be a potential danger. You know them silk cotton tree kind of big and thing.
Oh, yes.
You know when them gone, they gone, and taking thing with them.
Yeah.
And other trees that you may see that may pose a danger, not necessarily on your property, but might be an abandoned property, might even be on the neighbor's property also. But it poses a danger because as I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be hurricane season for you to get bad weather. There was rain last night.
No. There was lots of rain last night.
You could have, all of a sudden, you could have just set a heavy wind and lightning, thunder, all kind of thing, and you wonder what's going on. So it doesn't have to be
landslides.
Exactly, it doesn't have to be during hurricane season.
And talking about landslides,
one of the worst floods I ever saw was in the outside of the hurricane season.
Yeah.
And that was when River Road flooded, including the stadium. And that was in January of 2004. Yeah. January 2004, just before Hurricane Ivan, early of the year. Bad flood in River Road. Yeah?
And watch, talking about landslides and things that will danger commuters and so. Again, and I will raise it again with NAGMA today, right? And to the Ministry of Works, I beg of you, right? I'm pleading. I'm not saying that you have not looked at the area, but that piece of wall, that back wall that is close to Mellows, right there in St. Andrews, right on what you call La Fosse, right around La Fosse there. Please, I take my time and look at it. This wall, which is more than 10-15 feet high from the ground, right, has cracks all over it. It basically splits Sheldon. And when the rainy season is coming, I am scared that the weight of the mud and so that wall will collapse and it will cause immense danger, tragedy. I pray to God.
I can assure you that the Ministry of Works has taken note.
Please,
I can assure you that they have taken note. I mean, taking note is one thing, doing something about it.
Yes, doing something, because every day I pass there.
One other one, and I don't want Kami to have to call about it again. That walkway, that boardwalk in town.
Yeah.
Please, we need to look at either concrete. I know that the ministry did. I know the ministry did review it. They did go and they check it out, but we need some action on it.
Yeah.
We have with Suntide Games coming up. It's going to be a bunch of people going over it again.
We have Carnival coming up.
Outside of that, we always have youth who are going to activities at the National Stadium that are using it.
Students.
We have people who live on the western side that sometimes they go into town, but they go up the road to get a ride and so on, and they utilize it. We have the people in River Road who sometimes they're not taking.
Yeah.
My son uses it sometimes when he's going over by his mom. Because for people living on River Road, it's not every time you're going to take a bus and go over River Road. Some of them just decide they're going to take an exercise. They're taking a walk into town or a walk over to River Road and Dabo and Mount Rush and other areas, Cherry Hill and so. So it is an area that needs urgent attention.
And then people
would say it needs urgent attention. It looks So some people might look as a nothing and say, okay, just a boardwalk there, or we go come to that.
Not that.
No, there's a lot of people passing there, and somebody could end up breaking their leg there.
And it is used a lot of times too by persons who want to view the fishermen pulling in the net and so catching the fishes. And so the traffic there at any one point in time is heavy.
Sure, it has somebody crossing it now.
Exactly. And then we have our school children morning and evening. Wesley College, Wesley Hall School. I mean, they're walking across every day. Right? So it's concerns that we are seeing every day, and we will continue, right, to talk about it and sensitize, get it done urgently. All right, yes, I must, you know.
Yes, folks. 440 people quiet today. We don't mind.
Yeah,
440-7377. One thing I realize is that when people are not calling, it means that they're listening and they're internalizing. Yeah. And when they're ready, they're gonna call about these things. So we mind that. 440-7377 and
347-329-3101.
Yes, and we'd just like to give one or two bits and pieces of information. First of all, the New Testament Church of God, they're celebrating 60 years. Yeah, so they're having various activities for their anniversary celebrations taking place during the month of May. All right, that's this month. So they have several activities. So we're going to keep you updated as to what those activities are. The church in Grenada began in 1958 with the first congregation assembling in Spring St. George, and the first physical location being the church in Beaton St. David. And it has now expanded to 9 locations island-wide. So the Church of God, the New Testament Church of God, they're celebrating 60 years in Grenada. Also, the Grenada National Council of the Disabled, yeah, they are having Disability Awareness Month. This month is Disability Awareness Month, and they are sending out some information there. Let me see if I could open it. Yeah, so they've sent us some information here about some of the activities that they're having. Today's which day? The 7th?
Yes.
Yeah. So today they have a health fair in the Grenville car park from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We'll give you some more information about what else they have.
Good morning and welcome.
Sheldon.
Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Good morning. This morning, I heard you all spoke about the galvanizing and so on. Just this morning, I cleaned up and I had some old galvanized and old board and so on, and I called solid waste for it. They tell me that it does not collect galvanized and old board and those sort of a thing. They only collect old fridge and old washing machine.
That's strange.
So I know where we're going. I mean, start out from that please and
I definitely will.
Definitely.
As soon as I'm done, I'm going to call them, because as far as I know, if you're doing a cleanup and you request that, they have to send the trucks to collect it. So we'll make sure and say it on air for you.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. We'll make sure that we say it on air for you so that you would know exactly what to do.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Hey, good morning to Miss Karen Lane. Good morning to you, ma'am.
Yeah. They're not collecting. As far as I know, I listened to the program before, and they said when it was those kind of things, you call them and they organize and they collect.
Special,
because you can't expect the people in the area to spend their own money to go and do that when there are garbage collections for that area. And if they collect it and they put it in one area, they're just moving the missiles from one area to another area. So there has to be some system in place to remove it. So as far as I know, that goes along as wide-bodied goods.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
It should, or perhaps they class it as put in a different category.
Probably put it as construction material.
As construction material.
In which case, this is not construction material though, because it's not the leftover from somebody doing a construction at a point. It's garbage in the area. Well, we'll see. We'll talk to them.
Yeah,
and you know, I was afraid to call them on air and ask a few questions, but it's Monday morning, so I know they're in meeting this morning. I can't call this morning.
Good morning, Miss Lane. I know you're listening to us.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah. So just another one. So the health fair for the Grenada National Council of the Disabled, that's taking place at the Grenville car park. You may see them up there between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Tuesday, they have the Republic Bank Staff Sensitization Program in St. Andrew. I find it heavy in St. Andrew.
Yeah, heavy in St. Andrew. Big parish.
Wednesday, they have a school's visit to the St. Dominic's RC School. That's down there in St. David. Yeah. That's for 8:30. So the children would get to interact with them and learn about disability and how to treat with people who are differently able. I hate the word disabled. Differently abled. Thursday, May the 10th, Gadget Day. I see they have GSSE. I ain't sure what GSSE is. I'm not sure what the GSS. Oh, Grenada School for Special Education.
Yeah.
They have a thing at the end here. My girl ain't playing that, but she make sure she push the key. And this Saturday, they have a fun day at the Dorothy Hopkins home at the Tempe playing field from 10 a.m. So we'll just give you for this week, and then at the end of the week, we'll give you for next week, because they have an extensive thing that takes you down to the 1st of June. Okay. So for today, Grenville Car Park. Tomorrow, that's an internal thing with the staff at Republic Bank, staff in St. Andrew. Yeah, Republic Bank, one of the only banks that still have a staff in St. Andrew. Yeah. Right? Schools visit on Wednesday at the St. Dominic's RC School. They have the Gadget Day at the School for Special Education on Thursday between 9 a.m. and 1:30. And then Saturday, they are the Dorothy Hopkins. They have a fun day at the Tempe playing field from 10 a.m. So that is the Grenada National Council of the Disabled.
Yeah.
Then we also have Police Week.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's see. Oh, wait now. How you send that thing? That thing kind of confusing the eye, you know. Police Week, I had to kind of separate it how you put it, because I know right now they have the 9-a-side inter-club football competition going on, right? So it begins with 2 games and continues round robin. That's taking place at the Old Trafford playing field. They have coming up the Interclub 2020 hardball cricket competition. That starts on the 17th of May. On the 16th of May, they have the Interclub basketball. So if a man playing football, basketball, and cricket, the man tie up. Anyway, yeah, so the
that's police officers. They must be fit.
Yeah,
they must be fit, and they have to, you know,
Bossman,
they have to improvise. Yeah. Well, they're soldiers. They know how to do that. You know?
They have the Interclub road race coming up on the 20th, and the 5th of June, they have Interclub netball. So lots of activities. We know we're going to get the members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Alan, either you or superintendent, one or the other come in and see us and let us know what's going on.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Not too bad.
Good, man.
Relative to that preparation for disasters and so on, over 2 years ago, we could be close to 3 years now, I was invited to a meeting. They invite the village anyway, with Magna headquarters in River Sally. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I went to the meeting. Actually, the head of Magna was on the radio with Brenda in the morning. And I heard what he said. I went to the meeting, hoping to participate, because I was not in the village for long. I've been out of the village for all the years, right?
Okay.
I lived in St. David for most of my years. I left River Sally in 1983. I went to live in St. David for about 20 years. Then I went away for 9 years. So that is about 30 years I didn't live in River Sally. I'm from River Sally. Coming back, I take my fastness, as I say it now, and go to the meeting. The head of Magna in the area, I know him very well. I met him there before the meeting started, so I start talking to him. And figuring out, I do building. I have a pretty good idea what disaster is about. And I know the type of tools you would need in case of a disaster to start getting work done again. So I asked him to show me, I asked him what kind of tools and so on they have around in case of disaster. So he directed me to the storeroom where they're supposed to have things. Guys, when I went there, well, it was just close to us, because I was talking to him in the corridor area. And I had to just walk a few feet away. When I went into the store, the storeroom is about 8 feet by 4 feet or so, 4.5 feet maybe. Are you hearing me?
Yeah,
we're listening to you, man.
And I look inside there. There was 1 or 2 little boxes, maybe about 3 or 4 boxes on the floor. And that was the storeroom. What exactly was in the boxes, I can't remember for sure. But whatever it was in the box, compared to preparation for disasters, for example, NAGMA headquarters That is so insignificant. It doesn't make any sense. You go into the main office now, or the biggest area of the building. Well, there's toilet, bathroom, and whatever. Then you go into the big area, what you might call the assembly hall. There's packed with computers. Just about every desk inside is a big area compared to the other parts. Packed with computers. And I left that meeting so disappointed. It was amazing. But more than anything else, when I was talking to the head of NAGMA in that area, the actual national head of NAGMA walked in because I called on the program this morning and present certain things to him. And he didn't do. Actually, I got caught, the host cut me off because they didn't like what I was saying to him. Knowing the guy, I know the guy very well. The host did not like what I said to them. So whilst I was telling the head of NAGMA in this area here, he walked in and he realized that's the man who spoke the morning because he heard me telling the man certain things. And the way I was talking, not that I was repeating what happened in the morning, but the way I was talking, he somehow picked up that that's the man who spoke the morning. So after all of that, he called me aside and started to talk to me. I've never been to another meeting, so I don't know exactly what happened. But I was not even prepared to go back to another meeting. Actually, I was nominated for to be a part of certain head in the process. But actually, I gave them my number and everything. I've never been to another meeting, so I don't know exactly what went on. But I am telling you that NAGMA have a headquarters in River Sally, in the Latas area, close to the medical station and the community center. Mm-hmm. And computers they have inside there, based on what I know.
But that was how long ago you was there?
Over 2 years now, for sure.
Because I know that there was a project done through USAID that I think included that particular facility that would have upgraded it to a command center.
It is a
for
command
the northern
center.
part.
It is designed for that. It is a command center. It's a headquarters center.
It's a command center.
Yeah.
It's designated for.
But it has to carry out a specific role,
yeah.
which is why you would notice that there are computers there. There'll probably be radio equipment, shortwave, and so on.
Room.
Yeah, at that location.
Like that, yes.
That's the specific.
Yeah,
that was because even last year, I think the U.S. Charge would have been there delivering some other stuff and so on. So what you would have seen 2 years ago, I am pretty much sure is not the same right now.
Yeah, but even if it's not the same, I pass up there every now and then. I don't go inside the building.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There is no solar panel there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So even if it is a command center, where you have all this computer, what do you want to do with it when current and everything gone?
No. There is a massive generator that's outside there, right? Massive generator that's outside there that will power the entire building and all its functions.
Yeah. Usually what they do, they set up redundancy systems. So once the main grid fails, there's always something they can fall back on in order to have electricity at the different facilities. And so I do know that they have been working. I can say the U.S. government has been working along with NADMA. I know that Senator, the Honorable Winston Garraway, has been very instrumental as well in securing funding quite recently. In fact, when that was being passed through Parliament last year, that was one of the things that the NDC was voting against, because there was money that was secured to upgrade NADMA facilities, the headquarters here in Grenada and in Carriacou. And the NDC members voted against that.
That was grant funding. Have a command center, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I am also saying that whatever little space you have to store things, you need to have things like pickaxe.
No. Watch me. Let me stop you there. That particular center, right, is not designed to store things like these. Right? As I said, it is a command center. So
I'm also saying it should have been done.
No. Because watch, there are different things like that is not stored. NAGMA don't store these things like that in a command center. There is places, for example, there's different arms, right, of NAGMA that takes care of things like equipment and all these type of things. That's where you'll find these things, not in the command center for distribution.
Tell me where they have another place that you could go in case of a disaster. People house fall long.
Listen. Hold on.
You know, a lot of old buildings around.
Boss.
They are all trapped inside of the building. How are you going to get them out?
Boss.
You pick to and crowbar, them kind of thing to get them out. Hammer, fox, spade, and whatever to do basic things.
But that is not what that is not what the command center is for.
I'm not saying that, but
hold on. But you're not listening. If you listen a little bit, you would learn a little thing now and then, you know. Just listen a little bit.
Go ahead.
Right? Things like that in times of a disaster, for example, hurricane, right? Right? There is a particular center, right, that is set up, right, for these particular things, right, to go and move clearance and so. There's a particular group within that NAGMA community in that constituency that is well armed and prepared for that, right? There is a headquarters where they will store these things in case of emergencies, right? So it can be distributed and used when needed, right? It is not, remember, NAGMA is not a organization that is, let's say, 100% funded. It is or run. It is a voluntary thing. So, for example, in terms of when you are preparing, like the hurricane season, NAGMA, right, gets into action and prepares and start organizing all the different arms and so the different warehouses where necessary, where needed, right, for storage and all these type of things. These things are not, I mean, they will have a headquarters. NAGMA will have a headquarters where they do the storage for all these type of things, generators, chainsaw, and so. In the time of a disaster, these things are coordinated and distributed wherever it's needed.
So I'm also asking you, because listen to me, I'm not talking about ruling. I brought up that in the meeting. You know. I don't hear a place that could have gone and find what I'm talking about yet. What you just talk about too, chainsaw, all this type of. That's the kind of thing I expect to see in the storeroom. Or in a storeroom of NAGMA. You don't have. Up to now, you're not telling me, and anybody didn't tell me up to now.
Every constituency.
I get so fed up with the whole idea.
No.
Here's what I go back to a meeting.
Here's what I will. Here's what I will do, brother. My brother.
Yeah.
Here's what I will do. Both myself and Devon, we will get Senator the Honorable Winston Garraway onto the program with us, and probably one of the coordinators from NADMA, and we'll give you the opportunity to question them directly for more clarity on the issue which you are raising, which we believe is an important issue. And I understand where you're coming from, but I think that somehow between you and Devon, to all you, not getting it as clear, like you not fully understanding him and he not. So what we want to do is when we'll get them in studio, within the next 2 weeks, definitely once they're on island, get them in studio and clarify that issue for you. Because I think what you're getting at is that, listen, at any NADMA facility should have all of these items.
Basically?
That's what you're saying.
That's one of some of the things that should be there.
And that's not so.
And I don't think that's the way that they operate generally. I understand where you're coming from. I could understand the direction you're coming from, and I understand why you're coming from that direction.
It's a place that was just built, you know.
Yeah, I can understand all of that.
And they could have designed everything for everything.
No, I can understand. I can understand all of that, but you also have to understand this, that it was done in conjunction with USAID, and as such, it is done to specific criteria that they build it. It has a particular role that it has to carry out. While there may be some of those items there that you have mentioned, there very well may be some of those items there, but not to the level that you would think that, okay, they're going to store everything there for the whole northern part of the island. They may have different areas in the northern part of the island that they have these things stored at. Okay. So I understand where you're coming from, and as I said, we'll get the senator inside studio so that we could clarify that. Yeah, it has to be definitely before the hurricane season starts up. We'll get him inside the studio with us. Okay, my brother?
Yes, I take care.
All right.
All right, be good.
Right. One of the things I want persons to understand, especially with NAGMA, right? NAGMA, in terms of different equipment and tools and so, NAGMA have one massive warehouse where all these things are stored and prepared and so. Now, for example, at the beginning of the hurricane season, right, what happens is that NAGMA put into play the different groups and so, right, to ensure that what they have equipment and so stored, like generators, chainsaw, everything like that, is basically put into motion, right? They are prepared. They are at a moment's notice, you can get them, right? What NAGMA does not have, because it is a voluntary organization, is warehouses and storerooms all over the islands. In any time of a disaster, as I said, for example, hurricane, right? The different organizations, different organs of NAGMA in the communities, in the constituencies, right, are activated. And what is needed is delivered to them. Either before, in case of a hurricane, either before the hurricane, right, or just after the hurricane when the damages and so is being assessed, right? And so that is how NAGMA basically operates. NAGMA don't have a storeroom or equipment in every constituency or so. No, right? They don't. And again, when and we do get Senator Garway and other persons, and so they will, some of the command structures and so will be highlighted much more for persons to understand. And so, but in the case of the River Sally Center, it is totally a command center, right, for members of the constituency branch executive and so to meet and to coordinate activity, a particular disaster. That is where all the coordination and control, everything is being centered right there, right, in that command center in River Sally.
Indeed. 440-7377, and Devon, you know your usual thing.
347-329-3101.
Let me say special good morning to Helen Marie. Yeah, Helen Marie and Associates. I know that she has her launch. I wonder, Helen, you do the launch yet or you haven't the launch just now? Because I see some costume on them, we food. We food, Helen Marie. All I have to say is we food. All you check, Helen. Booth number 1 at the thing. All you want to go and play mass, you want to think, go and check Helen Marie. What's your number again? 5333351. Go call Helen, check Helen, go and see her if you want to play mass, eh?
Michelle, and just for a thing, I'm not trying to defend NAGMA. I'm part of NAGMA. So there are certain things within NAGMA you would know, right? These are things that NAGMA don't do. Have a storeroom in every different constituency, right? They have contingency plans, right, that will, for example, in a particular area, in a constituency, you may have persons within that area that is responsible for clearance and so, like heavy equipment persons, right, and so they will be activated, right, in times to do these things. They don't necessarily need to wait on where they are getting from NAGMA headquarters. The constituency branches and so that NAGMA set up, they have their own plan. So within these constituency, they may have persons with heavy equipments. They may have a lot of different tools that they would centralize in the case of disaster, right? It's not a matter of defending them. NAGMA don't operate like government and so, right? It's a voluntary organization that depends on the voluntary service of the communities.
You're talking still a little bit, typing.
So it's not about defending NAGMA. It's about letting people know, I mean, part of how this thing works. NAGMA is not, okay, like Ministry of Work or NAWASA in every area, they have a thing with fully equipped. No. Right? It is not so. It's they are not the body that have all the tractors and all the equipment, and so they depend on the voluntary services of all equipment holders in Grenada, from excavators to tractors, bobcats, trucks, and all these type of things, right? That is why I made the point, right? The more voluntary service persons we get, right, within NAGMA, the better NAGMA will function much better, right? Because what NAGMA cannot prepare or give for themselves, you would find persons within the community will stretch a hand, right, and help and assist. And so that is basically how they operate.
Here's what. I'm seeing Sean is saying that NADMA has a memorandum of understanding with contractors island-wide in the event of large debris removal, which is basically what you were saying. I remember when we had a warning last year during the hurricane season, and Senator Garrett would have passed in by us. He told us that various heavy equipment were being moved to different locations around the island in case something happened, that they would be on site to move whatever had to be moved and that sort of thing. But I also understand the callers idea that, look, probably instead of having everything in a central location, and in the case of a hurricane, you have time to move. In the case of an earthquake, you don't. So that it may be important to decentralize the location of the equipment to different locations. I could understand where he's coming from with that. But NADMA, I don't know everything, so NADMA may have a specific reason why it is being done in this way that I don't know of.
Because, for example, what type of equipment he's talking about to...
He's talking about the smaller equipment, because he's talking about the crowbars and these sort of things. So I could understand where he's coming from.
These are things that are coordinated from the constituency.
Okay.
So, right? And not NAGMA generally.
So you go bring everybody in.
Right, so the constituency, they bring everybody together and they source, for example, who has trucks in the area, who has heavy equipment, who has chainsaws and so on, and they pool together. So in case of the disaster, you just activate these persons and so.
So I could understand, I could understand.
It's a concern.
I could understand all sides of the thing. And I think just to give some further clarity to it, we had to get
you get,
All right. Folks, 4407377. Remember, we're heading into the final 19 minutes of today's program.
Wow.
But remember, hey, listen, I hear Karaku had a Queen show on the weekend. The Miss Phenomenal. Although, as far as I'm concerned, I Miss Lady who win, and what's the lady who win? I can't remember the lady who win name, you know. Naz, I know you're a man. Just giving them info. But what I know is Lisa Marie comes second. She was the second runner-up. The first runner-up. So what's the name of the lady? Kentisha McGilvery. I know why the name Kentisha sounding so familiar, you know. Kentisha McGilvery might be one of my cousins for all you know. Kentisha McGilvery. Yeah, she's Miss Phenomenal. Yeah, okay, Miss Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Miss Phenomenal.
Yeah, so she's Miss Phenomenal 2018. And Lisa Marie is always my Miss Phenomenal 2018, 19, 20, 21 and beyond ever.
and Sheldon, before I have to say it, I mean, this Sunday, Mother's Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
that's how we were showing it on.
Yeah, massive Queen show. Yeah, Victoria Park in Grenville. Yeah, it's a Queen show for mothers. Come and enjoy yourself, right? And see the number of beautiful mothers display their talent and everything like that. Come out and support.
That show will be the bomb.
It will be the bomb. It's organized by Peter Bain and his wife Nola Bain.
Miss Nola Bain, manning.
It's a yearly something. Come out and support. You will enjoy yourself.
Yeah, Miss Nola Bain and that Taurus lady, you know, she go there just finish.
Some beautiful mothers will be out there displaying, right, their talent and everything. I mean, you'll be surprised to see what is in store for you. So come out on Sunday. It starts at 5 in the evening at Victoria Park.
I find Peter Bain like he want to take over the franchise for National Queen Show.
Yeah, man.
Because I find every year people, that show just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So I find Peter want to take over the franchise.
And trust me, this year, you have some beautiful young mothers. When I tell you, I mean, young mothers in the 40s and 50s and so, oh, man, you got to be there to see the performance. Dash will be there.
I find Dash hot on the road.
Yeah, because
Dash here making joke. I find you hot on the road, brother.
Choice.
And Dash actually has his launch coming up very soon. It's going to be at the Mount Helicon big yard. He's going as close as he could get to home. All right, so the Mount Helicon yard, and so various artists going to be coming through. So Dash coming up. Then you had the Mother's Day show Saturday night. That is with Beres and so on. Mother's Day show.
Mother's Day show at the stadium.
Yeah. So all you make sure and all you come out
pack.
and thing.
And May is always packed. Also too, come on the 26th of May, Little Miss Grenada pageant.
Yeah, boy.
That's picking up some steam.
I have the
some
storm here.
Najuma, good morning to you, my dear. Right? Hey, come out and support the beautiful young ladies, out of the different parish in Grenada and Kankaraku.
Yeah, now what is up? Now there's the second year this kind of thing happening, and let me just take a little aside here now. Last year we had the Grenada Invitational. They brought various athletes to Grenada, and they had a difficult time in getting the athletes to leave.
To leave, I had to push them out and thing on the plane.
Asafa Powell, for one, did not want to leave. The man would have retired from athletics and stay in Grenada if it had given him a chance. It was difficult for some of them to leave. In fact, for all of them. But some of them more than others. Even Marshall Montano, who came to perform for the Grenada Invitational.
Just for a few hours, you know,
about a month. Marshall ended up spending nearly a month here. He was in River Sally, Sulphur Spring. He go and do music with Teddy Rhymes and all these guys and them. When you look at people looking for Marshall in Trinidad, Marshall is in Grenada. You know, Marshall is there. Well, he home. He was relaxing here. So no Braylon Taplin, but he's a Grenadian anyhow. But Braylon ain't gone yet. And Braylon here still.
Well, you're right. Yeah, the man had to energize himself, you know.
The Grenada Invitational's gone about what, 2 weeks now.
2 weeks ago, and
Braylon is here this morning though. But that's what he doing here, because Braylon, he went this morning to the St. Joseph's Convent, Grenville.
Okay.
The Intercol champions.
Intercol champion for 2018.
Let me say that again. The Intercol champions.
2018.
He went to them this morning. Yeah. So Braylon went to the St. Joseph's Convent, Grenville this morning. Yeah. And if you're looking on the screen, you go see Braylon doing a pose there and thing with the champion school.
With the champion school.
You know, champion.
So it's champion and champion.
Champion. Everybody knows St. Joseph's a champion. Next year,
don't forget GBSS too. Champion.
Kentisha champion. St. Joseph's a champion. Everybody know that Braylon a champion. Cranier champion. Hey, so Braylon, he was at the St. Joseph's Convent this morning, and then he went over to SAS. So he go by more champions.
More champions.
Yeah,
again.
Man. So he went over and he visited with SAS this morning.
Wonderful.
So Braylon, he has been doing a round of the secondary schools, doing a little talk with them. Remember, this is a chap that represented Grenada in the finals of the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grenada had two people. He's part of history.
Imagine that.
2 people at the Olympic Games in the finals at the 400 meter. A little country to 100 and something thousand people, that does say. Yeah. And we were able to have that. So he went and he visited St. Joseph's Convent. And he went and he visited SAS this morning. So he making a look around.
And I asked him when he going to GBS.
When he going to GBS,
he saved the best for last.
If he hasn't been already, because Braylon has been making the rounds, man.
Yeah, he has been.
And it's such a cool, calm fella. I think a lot of Karani maybe rub off on him, boy, because you know Karani's a guy that you usually bunks up in tongue, walking about, just relaxed.
Pay attention,
He has no airs about him. Is Karani? You want a picture? No problem.
Pure Grenadian, that's how it is.
You want a picture? No problem.
Yeah, these guys.
And he's smiling when he's taking the picture and because he's happy, glad to do it for you, and so Karani, Braylon as well.
Yeah, I know what's amazing about Braylon. He has blended into Grenada as if he were here for the last 20 years. You understand, of his life.
And the first time he ever visited.
First time he's come to.
Yeah. His parents are from St. David and and first time Braylon ever visit. And Braylon, like, he ain't want to go.
Proud Grenadian.
And I agree with him. When he started getting oil and them kind of things.
Oh yeah, with all that breadfruit. Boy, watch it right there. Go when the breadfruit season done, eh? And
take the dasheen. You ain't need no chemical in the system. Take the Braylon, a little thing to you. Go up a place they call Closure and ask them people up there for some dasheen log. Or they just always hear me talking about them dasheen log up in Closure. Go up in Closure, ask for dasheen and ask for dasheen log. When you get that, believe me, you need no performance enhancing substances. That is more than performance enhancing. You're coming out there like Black Panther. You're coming out like Superman.
Energized.
You're moving like the Flash. Or you think Karani foot fast so? Yes, man. Closure people. Hurricane. All my friends up there. Good morning. Dancer man. Good morning to all of you up there. Hey, Miss oh boy, Rita's mom, Miss Augustine. Rita, you and your mom and your dad, good morning to all of you. I hope you all are having a wonderful day today. We have some listeners in Closure locked in every single day. And those who don't get it in the daytime, does listen to the rebroadcast. We have CRFM at 8 o'clock every night. So believe me, yeah? So we have a good listenership there. Before we head out, boy, listen. I hear people used to say Grenadian politics is a kind of thing. And man, I listened to 2 political meetings last night in Barbados. But we joke that say Grenadian politics have kind of acrimony, kind of nasty. You should take a listen to Barbados politics. But before we go back on that one, just want to announce this one because I must big up my boys and them. I must big up my guys. And this one is a GBSS guy, but he's my guy. I must big him up. Josh Boateng.
Oh, yeah. Big
Josh
time.
Boateng, he just set a new national record in the men's shot put. And remember, kind of like a week ago, I said he set a record. So he broke the record he set and set a new record. So the last record he had set was 17.78 meters that he had set earlier this year in the shot put. Now he has broken that record with a throw of 18.09 meters. And he's still improving. Also, Lyndon Victor, he graduated from that school with all kind of awards and all kind of things. Lyndon, yeah. The Commonwealth Games champion in the decathlon. Yeah, the man handled them, you know. Yeah, so Grenada's athletes are doing well out there. Come on, lend them your support. Don't wait until when they go and they win the medal in the Olympic Games to come and say helping.
Start now.
Even if it's a little shoes or something.
Yeah. Also,
even if it's a little shoes or something, will you help them?
Also, too, hey, Crown City, they're the champions of the Pure Grenada Football Cup.
Champion.
Crown City,
champion.
Take it.
Champion.
First ever champion of the Pure Grenada.
Let's take a quick
football.
call here.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just calling to see Brilliant was in a Trailblazer Sports Meet on Saturday in Las Vegas too. You run with them guys.
But wait, that man all over?
Yeah.
I want Dexter make sure and bring him up in closure and give him some nice dashing log.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he run and from GBSS beat him.
You mean he let the guy from GBSS beat him?
Yeah, Nathaniel Matt.
Brilliant let the fella beat him.
Yeah, he let him beat him.
That was a warm up.
Yeah. Well, he was like a warm up.
Yeah, man.
Okay then.
Okay,
my
brother.
My friend.
All right. You know what? Let's try and make contact with Braylon. Somebody tell me I might be able to find him and that kind of thing. Let me see if I could make contact with Braylon right now.
Ooh, yeah. This is just a message to all the fellas them to let them know the woman needs someone to love. My brethren was asking me how make your life to love up so, and if there's a remedy for his woman to love him more, because he's a busy man working 8 to 4 evenings too, knowing I'm the love of man, so I just had to let him know that every woman, rain or shine, needs someone to love.
Yes, indeed, folks, and we have on the line with us Dexter Mitchell. Dexter, good morning.
Hey, morning, Sheldon. Morning, guys. How you doing?
I realize all you're busy this morning, man.
It's been a busy few weeks. It's almost as if the invitational is still on. It's been very, very hectic. Of course, all you mentioned that Braylon is still here.
Yes, man.
He's here training. He really likes Grenada. He's making it home for real.
I think they like Dexter. That more song as I love that day.
I love affair.
He will tell himself. But we had a really good turn this morning. And let me thank quickly the new permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, Finley Jeffrey Scholar. I spoke to him and I told him that I thought it would be good. And Brill and I had agreed to visit some of the schools. And Scholar pointed out immediately that Carriacou must be done. We should not live at Carriacou. So the first 2 schools we visited would have been the Hillsborough Secondary and Bishop's College, which we did 2 Fridays ago. And then This morning we did, of course, Grenville, St. Joseph's Convent, Grenville, and then the St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School. Wonderful visits, and Brian will expound on it a bit more for you.
GBSS guy in the share? People cussing?
Of course, we are going to do GBSS, we have to do high school, and then we are going to do some of the schools with smaller populations, some of the schools that are not necessarily renowned for athletic powers, that probably would not contend for the championships, but do have outstanding athletes and outstanding students. They will be visited also.
All right.
Wonderful.
Well, let's speak to Braylon.
Yes, hold on.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, morning to you, sir. And how are you today?
I'm good, and you?
Quite fine, man. And we'd like to thank you and congratulate you for the work that you're doing so far.
Thank you.
And for the visits. How has the school visits been going for you?
I think I was more shocked to see them than they were to see me. Nah, they've welcomed me. They've welcomed me and shown so much love and appreciation, and for me that's very overwhelming, and it's just been a wonderful feeling. It's been a wonderful feeling to see the children and speak to them and have them ask me questions and try to help with the progression of their growth as people and athletes.
Great. So you've been to Carriacou. What are your impressions of Carriacou? We heard it's the first time you took a boat.
Yeah, it was the first time I took a boat. They were telling me not to throw up. I guess throwing up is the thing that you do on the boat. No, but the boat ride was nice. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I had a little stomach sickness. I thought I was gonna throw up, and I looked around. And I was like, I can't embarrass myself in front of all these people. No, but it was nice. It was nice. I got to see the culture. They took me to the Maroon Festival was starting. I got to see the opening ceremony. I got to eat some of the food. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully I can go to a championship, win a medal, and go back and do another tour around both countries with a medal, or both islands with a medal.
Indeed. And we're glad to have you on the program. And indeed, I know Grenadians are very proud of you. From the Olympic Games to the Commonwealth Games to all your performances on the track. And so what is next for Braylon Taplin? What can we expect to hear next from you?
I have a track meet on the 19th in Jamaica, and then I'm going to go do some Diamond League meets. So I know Flow Sports, if you have Flow Sports, if you have the app, you could watch me run a few Diamond League meets on the app. And after that, we have CACs and NACAC, which are the two major championships for this year, seeing that this year is an off year. There's no world championships, and then in 2 years is the Olympics. So this year is kind of a slow year in what they call it a slow year in track and field. But I have two championships where I get to represent the country and hopefully bring a medal back.
Definitely. And know that we are behind you 1,000,000%. Might be 100,000 of us, but it's 1,000,000% we behind you. Definitely. And again, we'd like to thank you, Devon. You have any questions for Braylon? No. All right.
Go right ahead.
So we'd like to thank you so very much because we know it's actually getting close to our time to get off air. But we'd like to thank you so very much for all that you have done so far. And we'll continue praying for you and supporting you in whichever way we can. And be assured that the people of Grenada, we love our Braylon. And we're there for you.
Always.
Right.
Hopefully we can do a longer interview one of these days and sit down and have a real conversation.
We will
definitely we'd like to bring you in studio and have that discussion with you. And we'd like to tell you, remain the person that you are, because I met you in town. I also saw you interacting with youth in town. Everyone that came up to you and they wanted a picture, you would take a picture with them and interact, and we love that. We definitely love that.
Those little steps, those little things that, for me is a few seconds, that lasts a lifetime for a lot of people.
Oh,
so
definitely.
Just because it's a few pictures here and there, it lasts a lifetime. It's a few seconds for me, but not a few seconds. It's a moment of my time that can last a lifetime.
All right.
Wonderful.
So once again, thank you so very much, Braylon. And you enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
All right. Wonderful. All right, folks, we are speaking with our track superstar, Braylon Taplin. Yeah. Man bad in the 400 meter, boy.
Well, who does it best than hard talk?
Nah, them fellas, them can't do that kind of thing. They're too busy being bitter about politics.
Yes, you understand? And forgetting the importance of the interacting with the Grenadian people and the love that we share for others. I mean, they're forgetting all the good side.
If they give me bad, I call Anderson Peters.
Yeah, now we go leave Anderson for next.
If they give me bad, I call Josh Boateng. Don't feel I don't have the number. Don't feel I don't have the number. I'm calling Josh and I'm calling Anderson and all of them.
I mean, I'm so glad that Braylon has finally got into the whole Grenadian thing, you know.
St. David man, boy. St. David man.
Yeah, telling you,
St. David again,
and he's enjoying himself. You listen to him, and you could get the relaxedness of the gentleman, you know.
You know,
the young guy.
Though, I haven't heard about the young chap that won the 100-meter last year from the Westmoreland. I haven't heard much about him.
Yes, I've not.
I really must endeavor to find out what is taking place with that young man and his career.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear anything much about him since then. And I think it's important that we do hear what's going on. But it's also important, and we'd like to congratulate Brelon, especially for what he's doing in the schools and so right now, because those young ladies and young men who have interacted with him now, they have that wish now that they would like to achieve as he has achieved. And they have also lent their energy to him when he goes out there and he's running now. He's going to remember their faces.
Oh, yes.
He's going to remember the champions at the St. Joseph's I'm going to say St. Joseph's Catholic. Yeah, St. Joseph's Convent, St. Andrew.
Not St. Andrews,
Grenville. Right. Let me say the thing as I don't want nobody lash me.
Understand?
I don't want nobody lash me.
Senator Honorable Lewis is listening to you.
Sorry,
right?
Right.
Good.
So I don't want nobody lash me. Right. So he's going to remember the faces of those young ladies and the encouragement that they are giving to him. He's going to remember SAS and the encouragement from all of the schools around the island. He's going to remember the faces and the encouragement from these young people that he gets. Because believe me, to a man and woman, all of them are going to be locked in when he's running.
Oh, yes.
If they don't have flow sports, they're going and get it now.
They're going to get it.
But they could do like me, find another thing online.
Find some way to get it.
I just find, I know where to go. I just find them games and all the Diamond League games. I just make sure and see them. And Grenada would be aptly represented by Brelon Taplin at the games. At the same token, we're not forgetting who went before. So we have to remember Karani James and we wish him a speedy recovery. We know he's not too well.
Champion.
We wish him a speedy recovery. Yeah? Because some of us sometimes we only want to remember them when we see them back
on track and that kind of things.
Then we want to not only when they're on the track, when they win, they go back on the track and they lose, forget them. No. We want to remember them always.
We are with them, with him.
And talk.
All the others.
We supported everybody right through. Yeah. And as I mentioned high school earlier, let me say a special good morning to Miss Glenda Mason Francis. Yeah, I must say a special good morning to her. Hope she has having a wonderful day today.
Yes. Brenda
Miss Vida Victor Bruno.
Oh, yes.
Let me say a very, very, very special good morning to you.
Oh, she's a gem. I remember this lady playing. She
Vida
played
Victor
netball
Bruno.
since
That's like my mom.
In the 70s, early. She and the pivots and oh man.
I must say good morning to my mom.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying Moultrie. I think he's in National College.
Moultrie, yeah.
Yes.
So he's at TAMCC now.
Yeah, National College. Someone is just.
And there is. Oh yeah, Brelon have that. Yes. But this is the other problem I have, and we're quickly running out of time there. What happens to the athletes when they go to TAMCC?
Too much of them just pass through the cracks.
Yeah, as soon as they go to TAMCC, some of them, their focus changes. And unless there is a scholarship waiting for them at the end, in athletics, nothing much happens outside of the national championships and probably things like the relay meet. And if they're still of the age to go to the Carifta, generally by the time they get to college, they start to get out of that age group. But if they're still at the age, they may make one appearance at the Carifta games and so. But how do we keep them active outside of the little meets like the Track Blazers and the Ace Sports Club and so on?
Some way,
where
we can, when come with
Sentai games again.
In one idea too, find some way that we could incorporate the tertiary like TAMCC and so into the whole intercall free.
That has been a suggestion.
In whatever way.
It has been a suggestion. And some people are giving the pros, some people are giving the cons. I saying, let's just get it done.
Let's get it done.
Not necessarily, because let's face it, TAMCC, even if they go in there, they won't be able to compete at all levels. You expect them down at junior and prep and thing.
No, they can't.
Seniors are going to be at. right? So I think we need to give them the opportunity.
Yes.
Because if we don't do that, we'll continue to lose some A-class athletes that when they get to a specific age and they get to TAM CC,
that's it.
That's the end of them. So we need to get back to that level. I know that various people have approached the Principal Association with it. Probably the Principals Association needs to take serious consideration, not just taking into context the intercall games, but taking into wider context sports on a whole in Grenada, and that holistic development of our athletes and continuous development of our athletes.
All around the year, man.
You can't have a guy that's running and he clocks, and let's say he clocks and he 12 seconds in a 100 meter, then he goes down to 11 seconds in a 100 meter, and then he stops running.
You let that guy get away? No.
You can't do that. You can't do that. The guy has the possibility to drop to a 10. And you're going to just, because he gets to a certain age and he's so, you forget that. And before we go, I need to say a very special good morning to Mr. Claudia Saint-Ignac out there in Petit-Martinique. Claudia Saint-Ignac. So I'm saying a very special good morning to you and the wife. And whoever set a net to holy man sheep, leave it alone. No, you know me, I straightforward.
Curtis, good morning, Curtis.
Whoever set a net to hold Claudia Saint-Ignac sheep,
let us still do that.
That can be that. I am nearly 6 million % sure that is not Petit-Martinique.
That's not Petit-Martinique. That even can be with California.
It's not Petit-Martinique. It's not. That had be somebody from another island. I ain't gonna call island name because me nobody vex. But I am nearly 6 million % sure it's not Petit-Martinique that do that. That'd be somebody that come at a speedboat and try to grab a two sheep
and put it in bucket and thing.
Yeah. So it.
Oh my God.
Whoever know that they putting up net to go and hold Mr. Saint-Ignac sheep out there in Petit-Martinique.
Boss, good morning to you. I hope I'll pay attention because these guys are good. Oh my God. Net for sheep. Who does that?
No. At the time, the thing, you know.
Yeah.
But here, one of the sheep come and alert him. So no, he find one of the sheep come and balling. So the sheep actually come and tell him it have a net there. So when he leave, he find, well, what is sheep making all this noise for? Something may be wrong. So he go, net the set up to hold them sheep and only the man sheep alone. The man does work hard. The man does work hard to see about the animals, and so leave the man thing and them alone. Right? Other than that, we go make sure that he come and take a weed eater and come and weed eat right in front of your place 5 o'clock in the morning.
What? And before we go, Depot is making a very serious point. Scholarships, save CC, please. Yeah. CC again is one of our, upcoming.
Not just CC. You see, we've been lucky, and we know City Songs may have to leave us.
Yeah.
So 89.5 will be there with us for a little while still. But definitely, you have CC. And we've been able so far that we've seen Anderson go out, we've seen Josh going out, and we've seen the work that they're doing. I believe Markham is also out right now in the javelin and we've seen what they've been able to achieve thus far. They're actually topping the schools and in some instances the United States. In their disciplines, they've gotten the opportunity. We saw them do spectacular performances here. When it comes to people like Moultrie and so on, I think we possibly have the capacity to continue doing that. But we have to make sure that those scholarships, we have to get firm scholarships and not just send them to a U.S. university to say they're at a U.S. university. Make sure that that university that they're going through has a proper program in the particular event in which they are participating. Because you don't want to send them for a coach that's going to spoil them.
Exactly.
You don't want to send them to somewhere where the training is going to damage them because the person don't know what they're doing. You want to be sure that you send them. So when people like Terry decide she want to run again, we go send her. And Terry? Nice. We know Terry going to run again just now. Bro, we have the national report for them. Right. So folks, that's all the time we've got on Hard Talk for today. Those of you online, you're going to be getting the national report right about now. They're going to be giving you the national report as soon as we're finished. And to those of you online, I think we will fling down some local. We will fling down some local on a Monday for you. Yeah, we will fling down some local and thing for a while for you there. All right? Nice. So that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. And whatever you say, whatever you do, do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking.
This year's Spice Mass climaxes on August 13th and 14th. It is an event you just cannot afford to miss. I am Tamaya Monroe, Miss Grenada 2017, inviting you to the festivities, the shortney and all the different traditional mass, the fancy mass, the Monday night mass, and as Specky say, the best part of Carnival, the Juve. Spice Mass 2018 is one that's going to be fun, epic, unforgettable. Miss Grenada 2017 Tamaya Monroe inviting you to the Carnival Queen Show on August 9th, 2018 to witness the 7 beautiful ladies contesting for the title Miss Grenada 2018. It is an event that you cannot afford to miss. Miss Grenada said so.
This one is for mommy. You play your part and you still playing your part. I love you from my heart, boy. Mommy, you lost some love your body. Put it till you depart. This one's from my heart.
St. Patrick's Skills Training Center being designed to create a balance between skills and academics. Details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back with the National Report for today, Friday, May 4th, 2018. I am Wendy Edmond. It came about because of a need to address the skills imbalance in the country, but the plan is also to use the St. Patrick's Skills Training Center, a project initiated by MP Anthony Boatswain to produce furniture for schools that are currently in need. Mr. Boatswain, the MP for St. Patrick West and former Education Minister, says more than $1 million worth of furniture is needed by various schools, and that need is currently not being met. The Government Information Service paid a visit to the centre in St. Patrick for an update on the progress of refurbishment work. Mr. Boatswain told the GIS they are viewing it as an extension of the T.A. Marshall Community College that will focus primarily on skills training.
For the past 3 months, we had a training program for young people on the blocks, guys on the block, guys and girls on the blocks who are unemployed. We have trained about 50 of them in furniture making, and if you see what they have done inside there as trainees, it tells you that they do have the basic skills, and we want to build on that. If we take an integrated approach to this project, that is to say, starting from cutting of wood right down to marketing, we can create over 100 jobs in the furniture sector alone, not including the other area of skill training that we intend to get involved in as a government.
Government has invested more than $600,000 to purchase and renovate the building. Senator Pamela Moses, the minister with responsibility for skills development, says the Ministry of Education will be responsible for outfitting the building and ensuring there is a board in place. Their model of management will be similar to that of a statutory body.
The Ministry of Education, Youth, TAMCC and NTA. The Ministry of Youth has the responsibility to find our young training persons for training. They're in the process now for putting a policy document together that would be used to select young persons to come here and train. The National Training Agency, NTA, they are presently working to put together the whole CVQ model, because at this center here we want to do CVQs. We want to have a high competency-based model here, so we'll be going up to levels 1 and 2 CVQ levels. TAMCC would supervise the whole training process and put the whole training process together.
GIS spoke with Raul McQueen, one of the workers, who said he acquired the skills on his own but would love to be certified one day.
I feel like that. Yeah, man. I'm a certificate, so when I'm working for that and I said that I want that I have to get.
The sister isle of Carriacou has just ended 3 days of rich cultural activities in the 9th annual Maroon and String Band Music Festival. Every year, the island showcases its African origins through drumming, singing, smoked food and other rituals practiced by the local people. The festival also saw performances from regional dance groups, string bands and drummers. Parliamentary Representative Honorable Kindra Mathurin Stewart commended the organizers for their efforts to keep the tradition alive. She also joined her colleague minister in highlighting the significance of the festival to the country's economy.
I can assure you that my government is committed to supporting our Maroon Festival and all other national and public festivals here on the islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. A subvention of 50,000 EC dollars cash payment was made towards this festival in addition to other support. We as a government have expanded our ministry to focus on culture and the performing arts because we recognize that the entire world is moving in this direction.
Minister for Culture, Senator Nolan Cox, spoke to the economic significance of the festival. He is pleased that the festival attracts several visitors.
The Ministry of Culture has and continue to give its full commitment and support to this festival. And I know that the Minister for Carriacou will be happy to hear me saying that we are going to continue as the Ministry of Culture to invest more in this festival going forward because we believe that we have an excellent opportunity ahead of us to extract every single opportunity that we can from this festival. We believe that this festival has not realized its full potential as yet, and we can do much more with this festival to ensure that it brings more economic benefits for Carriacou, and most importantly, that our young people continue to be part of it to ensure its sustainability.
Here are some highlights from the Cultural Expo at Maroon Festival 2018.
By the toe, look green, 'cause it's good to touch the green, green grass upon.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
This year promises to be a spectacular affair as beauties of the Caribbean compete on one stage for the title of Miss Caribbean United. Come see contestants from the islands of Trinidad, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Vincent, Anguilla, Dominica, Venezuela, Antigua, Dominican Republic, Margarita, Barbados, and host country Grenada. It's the 2018 Miss Caribbean United pageant, Saturday, June 2nd at the Spice Basket, uniting the Caribbean through beauty.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs is throwing its full support behind the New Testament Church of God, which has organized a number of activities in observance of its 60th anniversary. Details from Annette Moore.
The New Testament Church of God in Grenada, which began in 1958 with its first physical location being the church in Beaton, St. David, has now expanded to 9 locations island-wide.
We want people to know that we are around and we are ready to serve the public.
The theme for the 60th anniversary celebration is therefore Go. During week 2, there will be evangelism activities which will include church outreach programs to the shut-in, elderly, disadvantaged, youth and the general public. Week 3 activities are geared specifically at youth.
The 14th of May, we'll be having some district services to cover the entire national church. So we have a service at Birchgrove New Testament Church of God and one at Lucas Street in St. George's on the 14th beginning at 7 p.m. So all young people are invited. And then on the 18th, which is the Friday, We have the Hymn Experience, a grand worship service at the Lucas Street Church in St. George's, beginning from 7 p.m. We have the Gasparilla Ministries from Trinidad, some young people coming in, and it's going to be an excellent worship experience, so you can't afford to miss it.
Pierre says the HEM Experience is a service designed by young people for young people in Grenada to bring deliverance and healing. This will be followed by another youth-led event, specially branded Ice Cream Evangelism, on May 19th in Grand Anse.
Feel free to join our members. They will be around the Risk Cafe area, handing out tracts and telling people about Jesus and having some ice cream one time.
The main celebrations culminate with an all-day convention scheduled for Sunday, May 27th at 9:30 a.m. at Spice Basket, Beaulieu, St. George, featuring a grand worship service led by Pastor Philip Bonaparte from the United States and featuring a mass choir during the morning segment. Fletcher says the afternoon session will involve the presentation of awards to church members who made major contributions in various areas of ministry. The public is invited to join them in worship. For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
And that's a wrap for the National Report for today, Friday, May 4th, 2018. I am Wendy Edmond, thanking you for viewing.
Greetings, people. It's a two-time groovy monarch, the man himself, Dash, the lyrical assassin, the groove man. 2 years in a row I've been capturing the groovy monarch of Grenada, going for the third year to create history. So come and witness on the night now, come and enjoy, because remember, we're grooving, and over the years we know groovy monarch has been growing. Performance, the energy, the stage, everything just been different over the years.
You're the set, and so they can look in best. Sing this. I feel I go on again. Keep up it. You are the best. Keep up it. No personal love. All on the road, inside the bank.
So come out on the 10th and witness pure energy, pure vibes, music, bacchanal, rags, flags. Witness history as I go for the third one, to defend and to bring it home, back to the Ville. Remember, down the road, where we go, in 118, the 120 zone, out!
Pop your fist and move where you wanna move. Let we make them go. What's the mail and things for the easy go. None of them are ready for the catastrophe.